Back to Dave's Shop. I'm Dave, and this is Morning Coffee Talk Live. It is March the 12th. So, let's get the day started. Here we go. So we'll let everybody get started and grab your coffee. Day's a big day. Gonna draw. Hey Lee, good morning. How you doing? Just getting all the stuff ready for Thursday here. Apache Kid, hey, how's it going this morning, man? I see you out there in the social media world. Chris joined. Hey Chris, how you doing this morning? Kim's on. Hey Kim. Yeah, we're having a little cooler morning. It's like in the 40s here this morning. Looks like we've got some of that crazy weather that Ed was having, and we're supposed to have like a cool day, and I think a dry front blew through this morning. And then I want to say they said Sunday it was going to be like 91, and then it's 35 there. Yeah, it's about 45 here, I think, this morning, but it's a lot drier today. Right click. Hey, man, good morning. 22. Woo! Now that's cold. We're here. Victoria Carlson. Good morning, everybody. You know, yesterday is funny. I'm trying to figure out, and I still have yet to figure out, how to add product links to a live, but everything I read and it said to do, none of it works. So I'm not sure how to get there yet, but I was working on that yesterday, and I had to actually go live yesterday afternoon for a few minutes while I was doing that. And Ed popped on, Tennessee Mom popped in for a second, and we talked for a few minutes, and then I was kind of updating them on the shop, and what's kind of come to fruition is that the AC unit that I purchased won't work. Just installing it through the wall because of how it's designed. It actually, I learned something about window units. There's actually two different styles. There's one that mounts inside an existing window, and that's probably the majority of them. But if you want to install a air conditioner through a wall of a portable building, a shed, or even your home, I guess, it requires a total different style of AC unit. Good morning, everybody. Gary, Sherman, Eric, Jay Year, Rusty, Big Tex, Bills. Good morning. Anyway, those air conditioners requires two different types. The ones that go through the wall are kind of like the old style, where you have a separate case that actually fits through the wall and has to be mounted and sealed off, and then the guts of the air conditioner slide into place. And of course, they don't sell them together. You would think that if they were going to sell an air conditioner, they'd sell the case to match it, but they don't. The cases are kind of generic by brand, so you have to buy the case separate, and usually it's bigger air conditioning units. So, morning, Ed. His face. Sofa King. We tall did it. We tall did. So, what are you talking about? Anyway, So the air conditioner, sorry, I got distracted there. So there's two different styles of AC units. The ones that require the case that you can mount through the wall are larger units, larger than I even need. And so, and the price at least doubled. And so I was just jumping all over researching and stuff. And like I said yesterday, the wife came in and said, "Why don't you just put a window in?" A lot easier, well, somewhat easier, and definitely less cost effective. I mean, more cost effective. So, it's only going to be a couple $100 more to get that done. So, had to order a special window for it. And I just got an email on it this morning. It looks like it'll be here next Tuesday. But then also going to have to move some electrical around. Luckily, I have some good friends that are electricians, so we're going to get together and probably barbecue some ribs or something, and he's going to help me get that electrical move and the window installed, and then we can move forward to switching stuff around. But it's I'm not really rushed at this point. I want to do it right before we actually make the move. But that's good. It's a pickup in person. It's your local warehouse. Beer Light Broker. Hey, it got 45. Oh, that's fun. That'd make much more. Yeah, for sure. I was watching some of the local news this morning about 4:30, and I tell you, that stuff over there in Iran, it's doesn't look like it's going to be ending in a day or two. I could be totally wrong, but I saw something where they said that if Iran had anything to do with it, they'd make sure that oil prices jumped to like $200 a barrel. However, the government is releasing 178 million barrels, and some other countries are too, to try to stabilize that price. I hope they do, and I hope they get this under control as quick as possible, and that it doesn't turn into some long-term money pit. But I'm afraid that might be the direction it goes. I just don't know. They told California to prepare for the chance that drones come across the water. Really? I hadn't heard that, Rocklick. Yeah. I did get a message from Olivia yesterday. Her 5-month-old son had passed away, and we're all sending prayers her way. So she's kind of in a tough situation. She's preparing his funeral, so I can't even imagine that. I mean, I don't really know her that well, other than she joins the lives and has been a supporter. So I can tell you her son's name was Liam. She posted that and posted some pictures. I shared it with some people. I don't know if you saw it or not, but anyway, y'all be thinking about her and sending prayers her way, because I can't imagine just the pain of losing a child like that. That's got to be devastating. I really am even surprised that she was on social media, but what I've kind of learned is some people don't have a lot of family, maybe, or that are alive or that are close to them, or maybe they don't live in the same part of the country, and so people seem to look for support where they can, and maybe too that being posting stuff on social media is their way of dealing with some of the grief. Anyway, I don't know. So y'all keep her in her prayers. I haven't seen her on this morning. I just saw that she posted some stuff last night. That's and I don't know what caused Liam to pass, but The good thing is we know where he's at, and there's no pain, and good Lord's taking care of him now. So, and hopefully he'll see his mother someday again. Let's go. Moving on. FBI issue. So, I'll tell you something I did see. They said the president changed some law about in California about electric cars and emissions. And I don't know if that's supposed to be a good thing or a bad thing, but because I didn't get Trump. That's so but I hadn't heard that they were telling people in California to watch for drones. I didn't even know if they could fly drones that far away. That's crazy. Non-Biden area. Okay. She's a nice person. Always like working with her. Good. TJ 1960 praying. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Got Lord Scone join. Hey, man, how's it going this morning? Yeah, we got everybody over here on TikTok. Hey, if you are new here, don't forget to like, share, and follow so I can do the same. I was, it's so funny because I was on late yesterday and I was trying to figure out how to link something on the live and never did figure that out. So, I'll just continue doing like I'm doing. Let's see what was TCase 9711, kind of random, but 8-year relationship ended last week. Any advice? Well, maybe you should just take some time for yourself and work on yourself before you try to move forward doing anything else. Sometimes that's the best. That would be my advice. It didn't change the law in California, but Trump only Tesla cars will not get EV money. Just all other brands. Okay. English teacher, stop drinking. Yeah. If you can cut the alcohol, that would definitely clear your head sometimes. However, I get that. Newsflash: Home Depot changed its name to what? Home Depot. You people, sometimes it's too early for those kind of jokes. What's the topic? The topic today is we are going to do the giveaway here in a little bit for Super Clean. Must be party like it's your birthday. Joe, pretty random. Yeah. Lord Scott, morning. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up on all the messages here. If I had a press with some business savvy, yeah. There we go. Happy birthday. Yeah. Pretty random. It is pretty random. I don't know. Lots of crazy stuff going on in the world. So, maybe if you're wondering about things or not, make sure that you are, if you'd like, don't forget, Ed and I and Chris and other people, but Ed has our weekly Bible study. Good place to spend an hour reflecting on the day and learning about our Savior. So 6:30 Central Standard Time. It's broadcast on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. Come join us. Stay 5 minutes or the full hour or whatever. Just come check it out. It's just a group of guys that are very knowledgeable about the Word and they share, and it's a good place to learn and just spend some time with a great group of guys. And Ed leads the pack and does a great job there. So yeah, if you want to join us for Bible study, it's at 6:30 Central Time tonight. I know here is we're going to do a little product show and tell. I have to show this. I did a video. So you remember me telling you exploring John 9 tonight. We're exploring John 9 tonight, healing the man born blind. Yeah, there's a lot of us that I tell you, I've been in different Bible studies. Not that I've never gotten good information from Bible studies, but everybody does Bible studies a little different by my experience. And I think Ed does a phenomenal job just explaining things and applying them to the world today and common sense. And it makes it easy to understand and how you might apply that to your day-to-day life now. Anyway, there you go. My opinion, I think he does an outstanding job. So come join us tonight. Come check it out. If you haven't been there, give us a few minutes. Just come check it out. You'll see what I'm talking about pretty quick. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Even for us simple-minded folks like Chris and I, we're able to fully understand how he explains the Bible to us in different stories and how it applies to our lives today. So it's always really interesting and fun, and it's a great place to spend an hour. Just think, just an hour. Maybe you don't go to church every day, and that's okay. But take an hour, sit down, relax, get you a glass of tea, and come join us tonight. You'll see that it's well worth dedicating an hour a week to listen to the Word. So anyway, okay. So you remember me telling you that I had a screwdriver set that my wife got from a vendor, whatever, and I kept it here in the shop, except every time I went to the shop in the back and needed a screwdriver, all I had out there were a bunch of old rusty ones, and I could never find the one I needed. So eventually I took that one and put it in the shop out behind the house. And so then I was doing something in the front up here out of the garage, and I didn't have a screwdriver. And I said, well, I don't know how it was. I've got tools, running out my ears, but I didn't have the right screwdrivers. So I went on TikTok and I'm looking, and I bought a set that I showed you yesterday, the yellow handle ones that are in a plastic organizer, and I've got it over here, and it comes with all kinds of stuff. Had precision screwdrivers, nut drivers, you name it. Well, after I bought a set, then one of the sellers on TikTok said, hey, I'm going to send you a screwdriver set for you to check out and do a video on. I'm like, looky here. What's the old saying? Wish and you shall receive. So now I have plenty of screwdrivers, but I wanted to show you this one because this set is different from the other set. Can't really take that other set with you if you maybe you have an RV and you were traveling, or you're just going to a friend's house to help them out and you need to have some screwdrivers to do whatever you're going to do. And so this is the one they sent me. It's like an 86 piece. Isn't that cool? And so I did a video on it yesterday. So if you are interested in it, in that video, there is a link to purchase it. It's on sale, free shipping. But I wanted to show you, and y'all all know why I'm showing is so I can add links on the other side. But check it out. It's got a nice hard case. And I like this because I could take this and put it in the toolbox of my truck, and I won't have screwdrivers all just scattered everywhere. But I was surprised at how well it all comes together. So I wanted to show y'all this. If you ever see one of these, you may or may not know what it's for, but you can actually, this is a magnetizer, demagnetizer. So these screwdrivers are all have magnetized tips. But if for some reason, maybe you're working on something electronic and you don't want it magnetized, you can put it right here, right around, and it'll demagnetize the tip of the screwdriver for you. And then when you're done with it, if you want to remagnetize it, you just go to the bottom side. So that's pretty handy that it came with a kit. Not all of them do, but that's pretty cool. And this thing, I'm trying to hold it up where you can look at all of the stuff that comes in it. You say, how do they get all that in there? So not only, so up here you have the some precision screwdrivers. You know, you got a T5, a T6, a T7. You got your stubbies, regular and Phillips head, and then you have just your standard precisions, which are also Phillips head, and then you got some Torx, and then you know get into your regular sized you know, big boys, and nice grip on it. So anyway, yeah, nice set of screwdrivers. And then you have this full set of nut drivers. These are 1/4-inch drive nut drivers. They half of them are from 5 to 12 metric, and then you have from 5/32 all the way over to 1/2 inch. And these are, let me see, I'll pull one out here for you. These are little 1/4-inch drives. So you can stick these in your impact, your 1/4-inch impact driver, which I thought was pretty cool. That's, you know, a good thing. And then you have all the little tips down. I want to show you that. I'm gonna hold it up here where you can see it. Look at all those tips down at the bottom. And that's where, you know, you have the that little universal tool, and you just put whatever tip you want in here. And all the tips are from flat blade to Torx, Phillips head, square bits. I mean, so pretty nice case if you ever, I mean, even if you kept it around the house, it keeps your screwdrivers and stuff all organized because they're all marked. They all pop into place and stay organized so that be easy to keep up with. Anyway, wanted to show everybody that. I thought that was pretty cool. And like I said, if you want it on the TikTok shop, it is available and on sale with free shipping. I tell you what, I thought about doing, except this is pretty heavy, and it would probably cost as much to ship it to somebody as it costs to just buy it and get free shipping. I was going to use it as a giveaway, but because it's so heavy, maybe not. But I haven't 100% made up my mind yet, so I'm going to leave it in the retail packaging for now and move forward. And here we go. Show this product, the Stanley tape measure. Remember, I was just telling you about, I got to get, if anybody is a distributor for Stanley and sees this and would like a YouTube video, send me the Stanley Fat Max. I would really like to do a comparison of that tape measure and the wide blade Milwaukee to see which one I like better. I really like the Milwaukee tape measures though, probably the best. And I've, like I told you yesterday, I got a ton of those, so it's nuts. You heard they don't have sweet tea up north? That's a sad thing. Tell me, hey Dave. Thank you, I appreciate that. Let me catch up on the messages real quick here. Oh, sorry. Hello. English teacher, good morning. Bible study question. Yeah, we do that at 6:30 Central Standard Time. It's on TikTok and YouTube. Ed Blonsky runs the Bible study at night on Thursday nights at 6:30 every week, unless he tells us different. Michael Evanson. This what? And ruled by Saturn. Yeah, for sure. Jason Bender, hello. Very nice to have Oreo. Yeah, see, that's what I told everybody. I was like, inevitably you're looking for Jason Bender says he's got all his stuff in a drawer. And it's easy to get your screwdrivers all, if you put them all in a drawer, they get all mixed up. It's just nuts. And so having something like that where it's organized is really good. Hey, Kelly, good morning. So yeah, you're right, Jason. Thanks. I appreciate that. And I agree. And our other Jason, my bud, good morning, Jason. Is Asia watching the show with you this morning, Jason? I know she is. That's my girl. Jason has a service dog, and her name is Asia. And we've been buds since she was just a little puppy. She's just turned 3 now. So how time flies when you're having fun. But we're gonna hang out tomorrow after the live. And it's been a few weeks since I've seen her. So, and Jason too. He gets to come too. I'll have to tell y'all a story about Jason. When the first time that Jason and I ever met, Marriott had just purchased Starwood, and they were having a training class, and this was before Asia. He had another service dog, and that was Kodiak. And Kodiak was his first service dog. Asia, his second one. But Kodiak was just a big old gentle dog, and he's sitting there in the back of the class on the floor next to Jason. And I forgot what they'd called me in to do some kind of IT work, and Jason's over there talking, and I walked in. I said, Jason, I'm sorry, we've got bad news, because they during the training class, a lot of times people would get cut for whatever reason. They didn't show up, they were late. It was just sometimes people didn't make it through the class. And I walked up and told Jason, I've got really bad news for you, Jason. You've been cut, so you're going to have to go, but the dog could stay. And that's kind of, he I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember exactly the words, and I'm not sure I could repeat them on the live that he told me, but that's kind of how we met, and our friendship's gone from there. And we've worked together nearly 10 years. So yeah. Anyway, it's a good thing. So, Asia was having a few little medical issues and had to go to the vet, but it looks like they finally have cleared her for a clean bill of health, and that's always a good deal. But yeah, so that's the story how Jason and I met. He's on YouTube. KJ Show 4173 is who I'm talking about. His name is Jason too. But anyway, yeah, he starts his new job Monday. Good job, Jason. And so we've been kind of like going 90 to nothing, and I hadn't seen him since we left our previous job. So we're going to have a little coffee tomorrow after the live and maybe a bagel or something. We hadn't decided, but anyway, thank you for joining this morning, Jason. Okay, so we did that, and what else was I going to show you? Was that it? Oh, let me squeeze in the battery tender. Boom. If you have a motorcycle or lawnmower and you want to keep your battery charged up and make them last longer, since they've gotten so expensive. Matter of fact, today I've got to go buy one for my rider, and those little bitty batteries are like 85 bucks, and that's at Batteries Plus. That was the best place I could find one that would fit mine, and I have a Cub Cadet, so you can hook these up. They won't burn up the battery. They just keep it fully charged, and it automatically shuts itself off once the battery reaches full charge. These are super handy and well worth the money, and they're not even that expensive, but they work really well. Okay, so I got that squeezed in. Let's see what else. We are going to do the giveaway for Super Clean today. Super Clean. So, you know, guys, I really thought there would be more entries for that, but just didn't seem to have any. However, we're not going to do that just yet, because I'm going to kind of like hold you in contempt until we get a little further down the road, and then we will draw. Yeah, you know, look, so look how many people. That's all the people that entered, yeah, for the Super Clean. I know, it's kind of one of those things where you don't, everybody doesn't win, you know, whether there's a lot or little. But hang on, these are like stuck together. I guess it was the way I felt folding them. I don't want them sticking together. Okay. I don't want them sliding. Okay, they're all good. So it looks like only 6 people. So you got a 1 in 6 chance of winning that Super Clean today, and here in a little bit we'll talk about that. So yeah, was it Kelly? I sent you an email yesterday. Yep, I got that. Did you do a portable car battery charger review? You know, I've done those battery jumpers. Yeah, it's kind of like a booster thing. You know, I would definitely say, you know, I always carried jumper cables because that's just old school. But you don't need to carry jumper cables anymore. You know, they make those little, I guess, quick charge battery boosters. You can clip them on your battery, and if your battery's still good, or at least got enough juice in it, it can get you out of a stranded situation pretty quick. So if you don't have one of those, that's always a good thing. I put those in my granddaughter's cars and showed them how to use them, because it's a lot easier. I experienced when my oldest one went off to college and her battery died, and you know, you'd think somebody at one of our, you know, some guy around would know how to use a set of jumper cables. She had a set of jumper cables, but they couldn't find anybody at the college that knew how to use them. Pretty scary. So, you know, if you're not teaching your kids how to use jumper cables, dear God, you know, I mean, you don't want them standing on the side of the road. Maybe they have AAA. That's what a lot of people go, well, I'll just call AAA and they'll come do it. Well, what if AAA is not available? Or what if you don't have AAA? I just think it's a good thing that you teach your kid, especially when they start driving, a few of the basics, like, you know, how to put air in the tires, and you know, when to check them. I mean, I know most cars have the idiot light on them now that says, hey, you're running on 2 flat tires in the back. You might want to put some air in them. I don't know, Chris, how we got by without those. Uh, I know, it's crazy. Those are little things that you can teach your kid. I think one of Ed's son, I thought he said was a mechanic, which is always good to have a mechanic in the family, because if you do, hey Roy, how's it going, man? Thank you for the likes. If you're new here on YouTube or TikTok, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, follow, gifts, super chats, all that fun stuff. Mainly just the like and follow. If you want to do the other stuff because you like it, well, by all means, we will do the gifts and that stuff too. So that's up to you. But like, share, subscribe. Trying to get to 10,000 followers. That really helps my affiliate side and helps fund some of the stuff that we do. So that's always fun. Anybody else got anything exciting going on today? It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. So I think my wife is going to see, is there a new Elvis movie out that I don't know about? I thought that's what she said, her and her sister and some of her girlfriends. I guess I haven't been keeping up with that. Oh, gee, what's up? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Mini Yoda, just working today. I hear you. Hey, Roy, I haven't talked to her since my mother died. I haven't seen her, talk to her. She kind of disowned the family years ago. I wished it was different, but that's her choice. Fish sticks, the dumbing down of America. The dumbing down of America. It is. It's really funny because both of my granddaughters know how to air up their own tires. We have a couple of those portable pumps, and I have one in each car. They're not the greatest in the world, but if you're on the side of the road, they can plug theirs into, they keep them charged, but they can plug them into a port inside the car, and it's got a long enough cord that they can reach all four tires and put air in them. But I've taught them that, hey, when the weather changes from hot to cold, you need to check your tire pressure. And then, I just have them check it about every month or so just to make sure that they're done. And I taught the oldest one how to do it. And then I was going to show the youngest one, and she said, no, I already showed her how to air up her tires. So it's good that they just come and get the air pump out of the garage, and they go out there, and I showed them where, if you look on the car, it'll tell you what the proper air pressure is for your tires. If you didn't know that, that's how you check. Every car has it, unless you have one that's 30 years old or so. There's a sticker inside the driver's side door that tells you the size of your tires for that vehicle and what the tire pressure should be. So it's a quick way to do it. Matter of fact, I'll show you. I want to do that. I'm going to pull it out because I have it right here behind me. Oh my God. Look at all these different things I have. Now, just so you know, these are not really super cheap, but if you don't want to buy a standard air compressor, what my experience is, not because it says Milwaukee, but because I've used 2 or 3 different brands, and there's all kinds of brands. So you don't have to have one of these. But I want to tell you, for a portable air compressor, this is the best tire inflator I have ever used. It doesn't overheat. It's easy to use. It has a It has a digital screen on it, and I'll show you. I turned it on for you. And you can use the plus or minus button on them and set the tire pressure to, I don't know. Let's just say the tire pressure was 30. Let me hold it up where you can see it. And then you just hit this button here. After you have it connected, on the back side is the little air hose. Has a little shredder valve on it, so you can just attach it to your tire. It's not very loud. And once you hook it up and hit that button, it will air up the tire. It'll test the pressure, and then it will cut itself off and show you, hey, we've reached whatever tire pressure you set it at. And usually what it does is it puts a little more in than what the pressure is, because you lose a little bit when you're taking the shredder valve off. And you can carry it around to every one of them. And it's not too heavy. You could carry it in your car. They make, cheaper versions. I had a Ryobi one that I had for about 3 years, but then and it worked fine too. But the motor ended up burning up in it. But I've had that one for about 3 years, and I've never had an issue. And after using that one, I've tested a bunch of different ones. That is probably the best one I've ever used. I'm not saying that they don't make others that are good, but if you don't want to have a full-size air compressor with a long hose to air up your tires, invest in one of those. You won't regret having one. They're that handy. So anyway, I was fortunate enough, I didn't have to pay for that. Milwaukee sent that to me. I did a review on it. So sometimes being an affiliate has a few perks, and sometimes you get some really good stuff. And that one came through the Home Depot Seeds program, and I still do that some too. It's slowed down greatly, but when it was in its heyday, I was probably reviewing 6 or 7 items a month, every month, and some items, I was getting so much stuff that it was more stuff than I needed, and I was just I was giving it away to friends and family, and glad that I was able to do that. You can get one at Walmart for 60 or so. Yeah, it just depends on what brand. That just seems to be the most dependable, and it's fast too. It'll pump up a truck tire quick. Trailer tires, anything, just depending on how you do it. But they do make a lot of these battery jumpers also will have an air pump, and they will work. They're slow, but they're better than not having anything. But anyway, so I wanted to show you that. But teach your kids how to use a jump starter or set of jumper cables. I really like the jump starter better. Because some of these new cars, people don't want you to jump start off of them. I get it because of all the electronics and stuff. But if you have your own jump starter, then you're not going to get stranded out there. And most of those jump starters, you can charge them up and they'll stay charged for a pretty good while. And especially if you're going to go on a road trip and be away out on the highway, you don't want to get stranded. And most people, check, but you never know. So teach your kids how to do that and air up their own tires, fill up their own car with gas. I was surprised. Some of my granddaughter's friends didn't know how to put gas in their car because their parents always did it for them. As parents, sometimes we want to protect our kids, and I get that, but man, we need to prepare our kids. Because there will come a day when you're not standing there able to save their bacon, and you'll feel a lot better knowing that you've trained them well and that they become self-sufficient. As hard as that is, you don't want your kids to just disappear after all they are your kids, but you're doing them a disservice if you don't teach them how to be self-sufficient, and teach them some of the things where, I always look at it like this: is I have made so many mistakes, hard lessons I've had to learn in my lifetime. And if you want to protect your kids, teach your kids about those hard lessons. Don't just let them slide through because you're there taking care of stuff, because you might not be there one day, and you'll feel a lot better if you know that they're prepared for this world. And it can be really cruel sometimes, and so yeah, girls or boys, it doesn't matter. You got to teach them both. So yeah, definitely do that. If you want to leave a legacy, people talk about leaving money to their kids and this, that, and the other. If I didn't have, my parents didn't have a lot of money. My wife's parents didn't have any money. So both sides, our parents have passed, and we didn't inherit any money, homes, cars. We didn't inherit any of that kind of stuff. So if you want your kids, when you're gone, to inherit something and you don't have any money, I mean, if you can leave them money, I guess that's good. But leave them prepared for the world. That's what I think, probably is the biggest gift you can go. Anyway, okay, let's move on. I don't want to, let me get off my soapbox. Let's see here. Well, y'all want to draw for Super Clean? Everybody that wants me to draw for Super Clean, I know I'm going to get at least 5 or 6 people because their name's in here in the comments. It says, yes, let's draw. Hey, Ron, how's it going, man? Yeah. So y'all about ready? North 64. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna hold it up here. I'm not gonna look. Just reach in and let's grab a drum roll, please. Here we go. See who the lucky winner chicken dinner is. I don't know if I hadn't seen this one. If this guy's on today, let me see. Is he on today? It is Mike J. Mike J won the Super Clean. Okay, and I wrote down his handle. It's I fix stuff all day. I fix stuff all day. So I will reach out to him. I don't see him on. He's usually on YouTube. But he's the winner. So I wanted to show that to you, and I'll send him a email. And at this point, I do not know what we're going to do for the next giveaway or quite when that will be. So we'll see. But for the Super Clean, thank you, Super Clean. We did that, and I'll get all the rest of his information, get it over to Super Clean. Everybody give Mike a congratulations. So we're gonna have some more giveaways, but right now I don't have anything in the queue. But we've done several, and it's been fun. And we'll do some more in the future too. That's for sure. Let me see. Anything else? Anybody got anything you want to talk about? Question for question? I got a question. So let's finish the day with question for question. So I have a question for Ruled by Saturn. I'm just going to randomly pick people. Okay. Ruled by Saturn. So I appreciate you joining and becoming a regular supporter. Tell me, how did you find how did you find this show? And the reason I'm asking that question is because occasionally I'll do a little short video inviting people to, come join us. I never know exactly if those type of videos get out and they kind of spread the word to people, or if it's people that join that spread the word to other people. But I haven't made it a secret. I'm trying to grow the audience and gain followers and do the there he is. I fix stuff all day. Yes, sir. You're the winner chicken dinner. Mike J. I picked up there you are. And so I'll send you an email here later today, and I'll need to get your full first and last name, address, and contact phone number. Or if you want, since you're on the live, you can just send it. You can go ahead and send that information to me at Dave's Shop, 2 at gmail.com. And I'll get that information over to Super Clean so they can get your stuff on the way to you. And thank you everybody for joining and doing that. It's really fun, and I like it. I want to find some more people, some more companies that will do giveaways for us. And I don't know what y'all think. I think that we've more than featured Super Clean on a lot of lives, and I've done a video, and I think they more than got their money's worth as far as exposure for the giveaway. So, but again, thanks to Super Clean, because I've been dealing with them for a couple of years now, and they're always so gracious and generous doing that. And we'll do some more Super Clean giveaways in the future. But if y'all know anybody else that wants to sponsor or do a giveaway, by all means, let me know, and we'll put them in line. So congratulations, Mike. I appreciate your support. Andrew Donnelly. Thanks. Oh, appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. Let's see what else is going on. Well, it's Thursday. I'm going to be out in the shop again today. I'm trying to, clean up and get all of that going. I ran into a couple of snags, like I was telling everybody this morning, but nothing that, we can't get done. It's just funny. Sometimes, I always thank God that I have the ability to do the things that I know how to do and things that I've taught myself how to do. And so I'm always thankful for that, because I know there's a lot of people out there that they're just not very handy. Maybe my father was really handy. And so I learned a lot of stuff from him and was exposed to that type of stuff when I was growing up. And then I've learned a lot of stuff from just different people in my lifetime. And so, it's and so let me ask this question. Did YouTube knows me well? So did you answer the question, Ruled by Saturn? How did you find the show? And I'll ask anybody, how did y'all find it? I'm pretty, we have a pretty tight group at on TikTok on the streaming live. That's randomly we stumbled across each other months ago when I first started. But with YouTube, it's a little bit different. And I know because going through their training class, they talked about how they are moving live feeds onto the shorts of YouTube's main page, where you'll see stuff pop up there. Anyway, I always recommend your lives on your main page. Okay. So it is popping up there. So that's good. But yep, I did. It popped up on the feed randomly. Lots of cars and tool videos. Okay, great. Well, we fooled you. We don't really do cars, but we do tools some. I used to just do just tools. And what I found is that that's such a small group of people on YouTube. And what I found is there's a lot more people out there that they don't want to just talk about tools. They want to talk about a wide variety of things. So I've kind of taken my YouTube channel where at one point it was just a niche about how-tos, how to build something, how to do different things. And I've really expanded on that. And I think for me, for my personal enjoyment, I like it a lot better. I like doing lives. I like interacting with new people. I like interacting with, existing people. I learn a lot of different things from you, and hopefully you pick up a thing or two from me. But just, that's kind of how you build your, I don't want to say organization because I don't have an organization. It's me, and me, and all of y'all. But without all of y'all, it doesn't matter what I do. It's all about, people sharing and joining and interacting. And I keep telling that. I told YouTube that too. They asked, one of the questions they asked was why I thought lives were really growing and exploding, and they are. And I mean, you see that, you see what it's done on TikTok, and I guarantee you, and I hate to say this, but it's like you don't always have, if you're in business, you don't always have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to have your eyes open, because sometimes somebody else has a better idea, or maybe an idea you didn't think of. And what I think TikTok did, thank you, Ed, I appreciate that. I think TikTok jumped on the scene and they changed how social media is being viewed, which I think was kind of going that way already. But I mean, they really took it and went whole hog. And so you saw short videos under a minute, or that really gained a lot of popular views, and people started doing that. And they say it attracted the younger crowd. I think it attracted everybody. And then, I'm not saying that YouTube didn't do lives. They had that ability, but man, TikTok jumped on lives like boom. And that exploded. I think that exploded TikTok more than the short videos did. And when it did, just my experience is, I think it had a dramatic effect on the views that YouTube was getting. And so YouTube, being, a smart business, like I think they are, had to regroup, and it's like, hey, you don't have to come up with a new idea. This guy over here is being successful with whatever idea they got. It's like monkey see, monkey do. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just do the same thing that guy that's being successful is doing. And so I think that's why you're seeing some of the changes with YouTube, and YouTube now really supporting the lives and putting having it pop up on their feed and that type of stuff. And the fact that as people do lives and people join, and then they share, and it shares out to someone else and someone else. And sometimes when you share, it even gets out to people who they're like, what? Let me see what this is. And so then they come check it out, and we go from there. So, I think that's a great thing. Hey, Ed, thanks so much. I'll see you tonight at 6:30, y'all. Like I said, don't forget, 6:30 tonight, Bible study. If you'd like to join us, it's live on TikTok and YouTube, 6:30 Central Standard Time. Come join the guys and me and whoever wants to show up. We just kind of hang out in the garage and women, men, children, whoever wants to join, you're all welcome. I'd like to see that just blow up. I mean, wouldn't that be great? I mean, and there's times, it's just like this where you have a lot of people on live, and then other times where there's just a few of us. But anyway, yeah, if you want to come hear the word and hear the message, and Ed does a great job. Tonight, 6:30, we do it every week on Thursdays. Come check it out, see if it's for you. Ed, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you at 6:30 tonight. For the rest of you, what else? Let's see. Thanks. Rock click, man. Gosh. Go 45. I can't see that. Yeah, I know. That's funny. Yeah, 6:30 Central Time, Rock click. You're right. Oh, yeah, I get a lot of comments on the mustache. I tell everybody I've been growing it since I was 11, so I can't grow any hair on my head, but I can grow a mustache. So, God does strange things sometimes. Doesn't give you any hair on the top of your head, but you do get a decent mustache. Let's see here. What else? So we got the giveaway done. Did that. I don't really have anything else. Let me see. There's somebody else I was going to ask a question. So I guess what I want to tell everybody is thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing the live. And, just getting the word out. That's a phenomenal way to grow. And, just so you know, the subscribers are growing. And some days, I know you hear me say it over and over. Some people say, hey, you shouldn't ask people to subscribe. But I do ask people to subscribe because what I found is that, one, it's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. Two, you're not going to get any spam from it. It's the one thing that you're not going to get spammed because I don't do any of that. But if you like, share, subscribe, and the sharing is a lot of times as important as subscribing because, when you share it, it tells the algorithms to, hey, you need to push this out so more people see it. I mean, because if you think about it, we have on average, I would say between TikTok and YouTube, we'll have anywhere from 15 to 30. I think the most I've ever seen on a live for me all at one time was maybe about 40 people. But I want to tell you, because people told me that YouTube didn't do lives. That's not true. They do lives. And that people on YouTube don't join lives. That's not true. They do join lives. And it took a while when I started doing it anyway, because I was kind of like, well, I'm going to do it anyway to grow. But it's definitely growing. And TikTok is just continuing to grow. And so, if you haven't ever thought about doing a live, or you want to do a live, or I say step out there. If you if for nothing else, of course, I'm at the end of my career with at least where I was at, and I was never a what I call stand up in front of a crowd and give a speech or presentation. In my career, I probably avoided that. Now, one-on-one or small groups, I didn't have any problem with that talking, but in bigger groups, yeah, I know people that can get up there and they're eloquent and they're really smart and they give all of these huge speeches, but that's not me. I never have been able to do that. However, I can tell you that if you have a fear of speaking in public, that I think going live would help improve that, because what they say, practice makes perfect. And so, yeah, maybe if that's something you struggle with, going live is is something for you. You know, I always tell the story. The first time I went live, I was sitting in a recliner in my living room. It was early in the morning, 5:15, and I'd been, you know, struggling with going live, and at one, I didn't want any of my friends to know that I was doing that, because I was afraid that that they make fun of me, and so I held off for a long time, and then finally, I don't know, one day I had TikTok. I had my phone in my hand. I said, I think I can do. I'm going to just see. I'm going to test the water. It's early in the morning. Nobody will ever see this, and so I'm going to go live and just. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'll talk about something, and so I was only on for maybe 15 minutes the first time, because I heard other people say, hey, just do it for 15 minutes. See how you like it. So I went on 15 minutes, and the very first day, Ed joined the live, and unfortunately, some bots jumped in. I guess they knew I was new at it, and we're doing saying some inappropriate things, and I was like, I didn't know how to block them, or because first time doing it, and Ed stepped in and said, hey man, do this, do that. He gave some advice, let me know that, hey, those are bots, don't do this. And then guess what, he encouraged me, and so I kept doing it, and he kept coming back, and then Chris jumped in, and then Casey jumped in, and all of those supporters. And so that's kind of how lives start. A lot of times people jump in. If you're new at it, don't be scared, because there's lots of people out there that just want to help you be successful. And that's what all y'all done for me. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is 7:07. I really don't have anything else to talk about today. That's my biggest problem. I live in a very small community, and I do not want people around me directly realize who I am. I get it. I live in a small town, but bigger towns surround me, and I don't know. I get, people say, I hear it every now and then. Occasionally, I've never ever had. Well, I don't want to say never. Maybe once or twice I've had somebody approach me locally in public. That has, hey, I saw one of your videos, or I haven't had them say anything about, I saw you on the live, I jumped on your live, but usually it's more like, I saw a video you posted, and that's okay. And it's, it's kind of slow, and some of them will make fun of you, but it doesn't bother you. You kind of have to be pretty thick-skinned, because there's people on social media, and they'll say some ugly things to you, like you're a moron, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. So you have to know that those are people that sit behind the screen, and they ain't got enough guts to do a live. So how dare they give you any advice or anything like that. So if it's something you want to do, doesn't matter where you live, small town, big town, you should do it. You should do what just don't let other people dictate to you what you do. That if it makes you happy and that's what you want to do, that's what you should do. And especially going live is not hurting anybody else. And you never know, something how to do or share might help somebody else. And it's usually going to be somebody that you would never think about. And maybe that you would never have met. I mean, I would have never met Ed or Chris or Casey, and there's a bunch of others that I would have never met if I hadn't gone live. So you, Rocklick, Saturn, Jason, I worked with him. You know that story there. He had a big dog, and I like dogs, and it was kind of a package deal. I tried to just keep the dog, but for some reason he had that leash around so I had to take him as a package deal. And so Jason and I have become really, really good friends too. So yeah, going live and And social media can be a positive thing. It doesn't have to be a negative. I've heard some real negative stuff. Maybe it is when you get our age, you're not as affected by what people say on social media as much as you are impressionable when you're younger. I used to think, well, you really didn't need to monitor screen time and stuff for young children, but I've kind of changed my views on that. Not that kids shouldn't be able to be in social media, but I've just seen some really bad things happen to kids, and all the way up to some kid taking their own life because they're being bullied on social media, and so that's a bad thing. But it's like technology in general. There's good things about technology; it makes our lives better, and then there's things about technology that's not good at all. And so, I think if I was doing it over again and had young children, I would definitely monitor social media, especially when they get to that middle school, high school. I have never, of course, I know now, luckily both of mine are out of high school and moved on to college. But there are some really cruel things kids do to each other. I don't know why. I don't recall those same kind of actions when I was a kid. Maybe they were. I don't know. It never, I'm not saying kids can't bully each other, but I'm telling you, some of the stuff that you see now at the middle school and high school level, how kids treat each other, it's just, and social media has a big chunk of it, because I think kids won't say it in public where other people can hear it, but because they're behind a screen, they can say whatever, whenever, and they can be really mean. And so, yeah, I think I would definitely monitor social media a little closer if I had kids in that age anymore. But as long as, I always had a rule, and we still have that, is we have dinner around a round table every night, and everybody leaves their phones off. You do not bring your phone to the supper table. That's when we talk about our day and what you did, whether you had a good day, a bad day, all of that. We have that time that we try to set aside every day. And I think that's a good thing. I think more people have gotten away from, having your family come sit at a table, not be distracted by social media, and just talk about the day, because you'd be surprised what you learn from your kids when they're sitting down at the table and they feel relaxed and it's okay for them to talk, because they'll tell you all kinds of stuff. And my granddaughters told us stuff that if they had never said anything to us about the stuff, we'd never know that it was going on in the schools. So, we made some decisions to move them and change things up. So, hey, Jimmy D, how you doing? Jimmy D just jumped in over here on the live on TikTok. Hadn't seen him in a little bit, but yeah. Anyway, so, word of wisdom, I guess. If you have kids in the middle school and high school age, definitely monitor their social media. Make sure they're not being bullied. If you get a chance, try to, sit down and have supper with your family at least a few times a week, and leave your devices away from the table so that people actually talk. And, that's why we have a round table, because, when you have a real long table, have you ever noticed this? If you go someplace, you have one of those real long tables, people have a tendency, if they sit close to each other, they're having a conversation. The ones on the other end are having a separate conversation. Ones in the middle could go either way or be talking to each other. But you know what? When you have a round table, everybody's facing everybody. There's no way to have a conversation that everybody is not at least hearing. So that's why I think having a round table to sit down and have supper or breakfast or anything else is always a good thing, because you have that immediate contact with the rest of your family and or friends or whoever's at the table. So that's why I like round tables. My opinion. Hey, it is now 7:15. I'm going to go ahead and let everybody go do what they do to make a living. Have a blessed day. Come see us at 6:30 tonight. Go do something kind for somebody. Jason, I'll talk to you here in a little bit just to make sure you're on the straight and narrow. Congratulations to Mike. If he had, I'm sitting here watching an email. He hasn't sent me an email yet, so I'm definitely going to send him an email and get this going. And I'll let you know when we're going to do the next live. Tomorrow, kind of plan for this tomorrow. Bring your question. Be prepared, okay? Bring a question or two, because I want to do question for question, but I want Daniel will become ill this. What? I need your email, sir. Daniel, my email address is daveshop2@gmail.com. And I have the ability to. There you go. Anyway, so everybody have a great day. Be back here at 6 a.m. in the morning. Bring your questions. Be prepared tomorrow. Have a question for me. I think that's probably the best thing we can do tomorrow is let's just have a relaxed Friday, but be prepared. Come with a question, at least one question. If you jump on here tomorrow, bring a question and ask me anything. Of course, make sure it's appropriate, but if you got a question, you can ask my opinion. I'll tell you whether it's right or wrong. I don't know. But I'll try to answer any and all questions if you have any. You can just ask questions about general stuff. We can talk about what's going on in the world, the war, the this, the that, gas prices, your taxes. Speaking of, has everybody done their income tax yet? I haven't done mine yet, and so that's something I got to work on. 1997. When Silverado 5.7 liter will become more shock resistant and more oil filter? Wow, Daniel, that's a good one. I don't know. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Go do something kind today. If you decide to join us for Bible study tonight at 6:30, I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you back here 6 a.m. tomorrow. Have a great, wonderful Thursday. And guess what? Tomorrow's Friday, so we have the weekend to look for. So I'll see everybody back here at 6 a.m. Thank you so much for all your support. Like, share, subscribe, do all those fun things so that we can get to that 10K. That's our next goal. We're at TikTok and YouTube are going neck and neck too, dude. Neck and neck. I'm really curious to see who can get me to 10K first. Is it going to be people on YouTube? Or is it going to be the TikTok fam? So we need to know. Let's see. So share, subscribe. It's free. Follow and all that fun stuff. And I'll see you back here at 6 a.m. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great, wonderful Thursday. Gotta go.